Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and today I've got another Plan With Me video. I thought I would first go through and kind of review this last week. I am filming these early, so it's actually Thursday I'm filming this week. I've got my little helper here for this intro part, and then I will voice over the actual planning. So I just wanted to kind of review what worked and what didn't work last week. The checklist dots definitely didn't work. I'm gonna have to find bigger checklist boxes to use for that. I really liked the notes section. I like the format of this. One thing I want to change this week is I want to have a social media checklist. I wrote it under ideas, so this week I'm going to have a checklist on my little sidebar piece. And then for this one, everything seemed to work really nicely. I did not use the hydration at all. I don't really write it down. I really am good about drinking water. I just have 1 to 2 big water bottles a day, so I just kind of keep track of it that way. I know I'm drinking enough. And then I decided to try to put my workouts on this top part. I wrote them in on Sunday night, and then I totally changed them around. So far this week I've changed around too. So I think I probably won't use that for the workout section. The meal plan section worked great. I really liked having that. And I really liked the divided sections where this is more of appointments type of things, and this is my to-do list, and that's worked really, really well. She just figured out how to open the container that I just put up here. So I have a couple of different things I'm adding to my mix this week. I've got a little notebook that I got from Lime Life Planners. I'm going to be using this for a work-related thing, which I'll talk about more in the voiceover when I'm planning it. I also have this thing of clips. I pulled out different clips. I think I'm going to pull out different clips this week. I got the orange one on there. I ended up digging this out of a box, so you can have it back. So I'll be using different clips out of there. So I've got some washi tape that I pulled out. I'm pretty sure all of these are Freckled Fawn washi tapes. I will link to them. I do get their embellishment kit, which I talk about on my crafty channel. So I just, I've collected washi tapes over the last few years with that, and I buy them like all the time. But anyway, they're my favorite washi tape. I mentioned them last week too. These are just ones I pulled out that kind of match the color schemes of both of these. This week in here is the yellow again, and then in my Michael's planner it is aqua. So I thought those will coordinate really well. So before I get into the planning, I want to go ahead and do some more ink testing. So I'm going to try to find that same notes page I used. All right, so I'm doing a no spend January. Those are my things I've thought about buying. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move my ink testing to the next page. I pulled out some matching inks in the Stampin' Up! Variety. So I'm hoping that these don't bleed through and cause any shadowing. This paper is really thick, so I'm hoping that the paper will hold up to these. I'm also going to stamp them in my Michael's planner too to see if either one of them can use these inks. So I'll speed this part up and then show you guys the results. Okay, so I am really, really impressed. I see some shadowing on the second pink one, which was the strawberry slush. It did some shadowing, and I think it was mostly because it really saturated the stamp. So I could maybe be a little bit more skimpy on the stamp inking. And pretty much I'm okay with the shadowing on that. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's very, very little shadowing on any of them except the pink one. There's definitely some shadowing. Now on the Michael's planner, there is way more shadowing, but it's still doable for me. Definitely the aquas, especially the aquas and the yellow, that's totally doable. I can handle that much ink showing through. I just don't want the paper to be saturated so much that you definitely see there's stamping behind that. I'm gonna see some pen marks and stuff through the paper, and I'm okay with that. I just don't want it bleeding through drastically. On both of them, it seems like the strawberry slush bled through the most. So I'm gonna set this one aside and not use it. But the other ones I feel like I can use easily. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the planning. I'm gonna flip back to this week in both of these. I'm gonna go ahead and start in my Inkwell press again like I did last week. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and divide my pages out. I really liked that layout from last week, so I'm gonna use this yellow vine washi tape. I'm pretty sure this one came in a Freckled Fawn kit in the past. This is a much thicker washi tape than I used last week, so I had to kind of decide which column was going to be skinnier and which column was going to be thicker so that I could still use those dots to be my guide. They divide the page exactly in the middle, and so I'm just putting them on one side of the dot. That means the one side is going to be a little bit thinner than the other side. So I go ahead and make the appointments side my skinnier side because I use the to-do list a lot for writing notes, and I thought it would be nice to have a bigger column for that. And so I'm going to just do this to both sides, and then I decide to mark off the weekend section with some of the pineapple washi tape. And then I look back at it and I decide I probably don't need the separate to-do list and errands type sections on the weekend section. So I think next week I won't divide that section in half. I'll just divide the Monday through Friday in half and then just kind of box off the weekend, because the weekend just kind of gets clumped together for the most part. I just want to point out that the ruler technique works way better with these washi tapes that don't have all the glitter on them. The thinner washi tapes really do just work really nicely with that ruler technique. I've seen people use like credit cards to do the same kind of thing. Again, this week I'm stamping my meal prep section. I used a different stamp this time. I think this one is from Lawn Fawn. And so I will, link to all the supplies I'm using in the description box down below so you can pick them up if you're interested in anything. Next, I'm also stamping the to-do list section, and I'm making sure I look this week because last week I didn't line it up on the Friday day. It skipped a line, so I'm just eyeballing this really carefully so I get that top line. This is from that Lawn Fawn planner stamp set, the same one that the little meal one is from. I was a bit hesitant to stamp the to-do list section on the weekend section because I wasn't sure I was going to use it the same way, but I went ahead and stamped it. I'm going to give it a try this week. So I realized that when I was doing my dividing the columns, I definitely put the washi tape on the other side of the dots for the Friday through Sunday section. So my to-do list section is much skinnier on that side versus the other side. So next week I'm going to be extra careful and make sure that I line up the dots on the same side for each page. I think it's because I flipped the paper around and then it just made me line it up on the wrong side. But anyway, I had already put my gym class stickers on because we're doing makeup classes, and so I had to have an extra class for this week. And so I go ahead and put in my music class sticker, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my book that I use for story time and books due. I go ahead and pull this one off the little thank you sheet that they sent me for the Lulu and Row stamps that I bought. I just really like this book stack and it was yellow, so it worked perfectly for this page. So we're in the process of building a house, so we go and visit the house usually weekly, and so I made Thursday this week our house visiting day. I've stamped a little house from that same Lawn Fawn stamp set that I was using for the other stamps so far. I pulled out my Studio L2E reading stamp set and stamped the books due again this week. I decided to do all yellow on the column for appointments and stuff, and then pink for the to-do list side. Next, I wanted to stamp dedicated filming days, and so I was trying to decide where I was going to put filming days because it's not necessarily a timed thing, it's more of a to-do list thing, but I don't want to stamp on my to-do list section, so I go ahead and move it to that timed section. I pulled these little video camera stamps from one of the Studio L2E icon stamp sets. They have multiples of these. I do have a couple of them. I will list the correct one in the description box down below. Next to each of these, I'm just writing filming day because I'm going to just concentrate on filming those days. So for my weekend to-do list, I'm just writing in meal planning and scheduling the grocery delivery. I do grocery delivery for the bulk of our groceries most weeks, so I just write that in. I do that over the weekend. Now I apologize, I got off camera for this one, but I pulled out that bold headliner stamps that I used last week for the gratitude section, and I just marked that down in the notes section at the bottom of my planner. Then I just go back and clip my page that I'm currently on. I'm planning this a little ahead so I can get this video up for you guys. Then for this next week, I'm going to use the yellow Oli clip. I really like these magnetic clips. They're super duper strong. They come in a lot of colors and patterns. I've seen really cool ones. I just have some like basic color ones. So moving on to my next planner, I'm going to basically do about the same thing I did last week with this planner. I grabbed some different clips. I didn't have a clip on it this last week, so I definitely wanted a clip. And these are all Freckled Fawn clips. They come in various kits, and then as you can see, this pack actually comes as a pack, so you can buy the clips in just a variety of colors. I just decided to put all my little planner paper clips into one of the Freckled Fawn pouches. It's just one of my favorite pouches that they've had recently. I think this one was from December. I'm just adding this to the bottom border just to give it a little decoration. And now on the sidebar section, I'm covering up that goals of the week with the thin glitter washi tape. Before I get to the stickers, I'm going to go ahead and add my washi tape. I decided to go with this aqua and heart washi tape. Next, I'm using my same stickers I used last week to mark off the to create, to edit, and notes section. I go ahead and use the stickers on all three of the sections this week because I want to alternate the colors of them, make like a, I don't know, a checkerboard kind of colored pattern. I have a couple of different stamp sets that have various checklist boxes, and so I pulled out one of these winter sets. This is from Studio L2E, and I decided to use some of these checklists at the bottom. These boxes are definitely more spaced out and a little bit bigger than the ones I was trying to use last week, so I think these ones will work much better. So for the sidebar section, my plan is to make a social media checklist, and this will be all inclusive. I did just start working for Freckled Fawn this week, so I'm going to be doing their social media as well. I'll tell you all about that in my February chit chat video. So I thought I would kind of incorporate all of that down the checklist, and I don't really like how this one ended up turning out, but I think I'm onto something good here, so I will use this and tweak it a little bit for next week and make it even better. So I stamped from the bold headliner stamp set just the title social media, and then I'm going to grab two checklists off of here. I grab a sticky note so that I can write down how many lines of checklist boxes I need. And I work Monday through Sunday, so I'm just going to stamp that title, you know, the days of the week, the letters, Monday through Sunday. They give you the option of doing Sunday to Saturday, and then they also give you the option Monday through Sunday. So I used the Monday through Sunday one. Hope that was clear. I kind of rambled. Between the Freckled Fawn social media and my own social media, I ended up with needing 10 checklist boxes. And so I grabbed two little lines of checklist and stamped them, and I realized my camera died. So I lost a little bit of footage here, and I'm going to just jump and show you how I lined up the checklist box on my acrylic block. And I just alternated what ink I used when I stamped it. So I ended up with 5 different times of stamping this, alternating colors. It made a little bit of a rainbow pattern. And I really like how this section looked. I think it's sleek. It's easy for me to checklist things off. But I realized I should have kept some more space on the left-hand side of that column so I could write in what each checklist box is for. I realized once I had finished stamping these, I didn't leave room to write down anything. So I am just squeezing in the titles for these, and it doesn't leave me very much room to make it very clear which one each is for. So next week I'm going to make sure I save room to label these. And so I realized I forgot to zoom back out, but I start working on the other side. I'm just making the weekend columns for this week work tasks, so I can just fill in any kind of work related things. Since I am now working for Freckled Fawn, I need some room for stuff that I need to do for them. I pulled both of these stamp sets from that Bold Headliner Studio L2E set. Was it for my YouTube planner. Now I want to make 2 little extra spots for keeping track of some work related stuff. So I thought I would keep track of my times in this little Lime Life notebook that I got. I think they're really cute. And then I'm going to keep track of ideas and just brainstorming stuff in this much larger notebook. I've had this one for a couple of years now. It's a PLUM paper planner notebook. And so I'm just going to try to decorate these a little bit to match the week. I pull out the same pineapple washi tape, and I just add a strip to the tops of each of these pages. On my little time one, I put schedule, and then I have to go back and look at my other planner to find the dates for the week. I wasn't exactly sure when the week started and stopped. Then on the top of the other notebook, I just stamp ideas and then put the same dates for this week. While I think both pages look pretty, I'm not sure how practical this is going to be for me to try to keep track of things in different notebooks. I might just have to incorporate all of this into my 2 existing planners and skip using the notebooks. And I thought maybe I would just sit the ideas and brainstorming notebook on my nightstand, because I do a lot of my brain dump and brainstorming right before bed. So I thought that would be an easy way to not have to move my planner back and forth. So I would just stick it in my nightstand. And that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's another look at the planners. I'm sorry this video wasn't up bright and early this morning. I totally forgot to do the voiceover, so I'm doing this on Sunday morning. I had the best of intentions. I'd filmed the video early and then totally forgot to voice over it. I filmed it and I'm like, oh, it's done. In my mind, I was thinking it was already done. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great, productive week. Happy planning. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. I would love to see your plan with me's and planner spreads. Leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to check those out. You can also tag me on Instagram. I'm the Scrap Master. My Instagram link is in the description box down below. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.